I know you're a mega Lions fan.
I am. Anyone that truly knows me knows. I think even people that don't know me that well know I'm a mega Lions fan.
I'm really, really curious to see what kind of moves are made in the offseason.
Get pre-approved before we do anything.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people just, they're anxious to look at homes. I love buyers that are, that want to buy. They want to go out and look and they're ready because
sure,
it's competitive out there.
As do I.
I tell people that, you kind of probably need to, if you're going to look to buy a house, you got to kind of treat it as like a second job, part-time job.
Okay, hello everyone out there. Welcome to the introduction of the Real Estate Tailgate. Our launch party today. I am Mike Mitchell, Realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Key Realty, along here with my partner, David Underwood. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great, Mike. I'm doing great, man. Glad to be here.
Tell us where you're from. Tell us about your company and what you do.
I am Dave Underwood, and I'm with Top Flight Financial. We are a direct lender based here in Metro Detroit area. I'm actually out of Macomb Township, and excited about our podcast launch here.
Absolutely. We've been looking forward to this. We've been guests on podcasts before, but this is our own show. We're going to try and have a little fun with it. I'm sure it's a little raw to start with, but I think it'll get better and better every week, right?
I hope so. I certainly hope so.
So do our listeners.
Yeah. And, I want to mention that running the show for us is our faithful producer, Mr. Walter Hooper. Hey, Walter.
What's up, everybody?
Mr. Hooper.
You can't see me, and that is intentional, so don't. But yeah,
shout out to W.A. Hooper Marketing.
Oh, I appreciate you. As everyone says, I'm the man behind the curtain, so to speak. So
there you go, the wizard.
Yeah, good to be here with you guys. Excited for your premiere episode. Yeah, you guys are doing great.
So yeah, we're just going to talk a little about real estate, mortgages, financing, sports, our love of football, and the Detroit Lions. Hence the tailgate.
Yes. Whatever's on our mind that we want to get out there, that's what we're going to talk about. So this being our launch episode, Mr. Mitchell, what's on your mind, bro?
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking Super Bowl, honestly.
I was about to say. I know you still got
Super
football.
I still got
on
football in my brain. Yeah.
Yeah, being
this is the last game Sunday for the last NFL game for 7 months, so I'm gonna have some withdrawals coming up. That's good because it's a spring selling season, and that'll keep me busy.
Yeah. But, so you're not interested in the new spring league?
No, I've tried watching it. I can't get into it.
Yeah, but aren't they like merging the two leagues or something like that?
Yeah, two are merging. I heard something about that. That's how far behind I am. I
don't
know all the details.
I'm not that much into it either. I was just curious because I know you're a mega Lions fan.
I am. Anyone that truly knows me knows. I think even people that don't know me that well know I'm a mega Lions fan.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
NFL, definitely NFL, and it's good to see you, man, because I know. Your heart was broken along with a lot of us other Lions fans.
Yeah. Great season, though, right? Great season.
Yep. Great season. And looking forward to the next one already.
And Dan we trust, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Yeah. I'm really, really curious to see what kind of moves are made in the offseason.
Yep. I think they can only get better, right?
I hope so.
With the track record of Brad Holmes, they're only going to get better.
Yeah, and I think it's a great start that we're able to keep the coaches we wanted to keep, right?
Yep. Keep the team together.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to it.
If you notice, winning teams that win a lot of Super Bowls, they keep their coaching staffs together. They don't switch like the Detroit Lions have switched head coaches how many times? The Cleveland Browns switch head coaches. You look at like a franchise like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh yeah,
how they've had like 3 head coaches in their history, like it's something like that. It's some crazy number. Don't quote me on that, but I mean it's very compared to other teams like the Browns and the Lions, and yeah, they've had like just a handful. So says something.
Absolutely. No, yep. And you're right about the Steelers. And once again, I'm no guru when it comes to the NFL, but I think the last 3 coaches, including the current one, probably cover 30 years or more.
Yep.
So yeah.
So what's going on in the real estate world? I got to ask David, what are the rates?
Yeah. That's the magic question, man. I get that quite a bit all the time.
I'm teasing David. I always ask him that every time we meet.
Yeah.
Because that's just a common question, and he'll get into it. But
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But the reality is that is on a lot of people's minds right now. What are rates and what are rates going to do? Because we got spoiled there for a number of years, and we were at all-time lows for interest rates on mortgages.
Absolutely.
And then
money was free, right? It was
just about.
Yeah.
And then recently we, hit a high that we hadn't hit in so long. But I think that we've kind of peaked. And I think pretty much everyone in the industry knows, because you keep hearing talk that, rates have come down. Well, they have kinda. They've been
kinda.
Well, yeah. The reason I say that is rates are seesawing. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, they're going up and down. They're not shooting down. They're better than they were at the peak, like October, November. I think November they're at the peak height. But they've gotten a little bit better. But just earlier this week, we actually, with things going on in the world, economic news and everything, rates kind of shot up, and then they shot back down like yesterday. So when I say shot, that means they went up higher than they probably had been in several weeks.
Uh-huh.
But then we kind of got it all back after a couple of days.
Well, it's good to hear that they peaked, honestly,
Yeah.
So hopefully things will get better,
And
things aren't bad, but hopefully the rates will go down and get better for consumers.
Yeah, and I think they will. Unfortunately, not to sound like a Debbie Downer, but they'll probably come down a little slower than what people are hoping.
Sure.
When you start, anyone that listens to what's going on with the Federal Reserve and the decisions that they make, mortgage rates are a little bit affected by what the Fed does. Not totally. But, the Fed is looking a lot at all the data that's out there. And I'm going to get geeky here for a second just to go over some numbers, but you've heard of like the jobs report, right?
Sure.
Okay, so this jobs report is something that everyone listens to, and we have a jobs report that comes out, but then what happens is it gets adjusted, okay? So just to give you an example, over 350,000 new jobs were reported in January, and that's a strong number. Then in December, they said it was about 216,000, but they just adjusted it up to 330,000. So, when you have things like that happening, then the Fed, is saying, hey, the job market's stronger than what we thought. They have to take a step back and before they decide what they're going to do about lowering rates. So I guess the moral of the story is that we know that they're probably eventually going to lower rates. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, they raised rates, I think 11 times in a row. And then
11 times, my God.
Yeah.
That was all last year, right?
Well, yeah, a little longer than a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 times. And then we had 4 times where they've just held steady. Now, a lot of people are thinking, hey, the next meeting, they're going to start lowering rates. Well, but with the data coming out, in my opinion, I had this opinion like a week or so ago that it might not be till May that they start lowering. But now, after seeing some of this data, it might not be till June. So that's what I mean. Rates are going to come down.
Rates are rates, right?
Yep. But rates aren't the most important thing when it comes to getting a loan. And we'll talk about that another time.
Sure.
So what about what's going on with inventory and whatnot?
So inventory is low again. We're starting it. It's always hard to. Every winter, every time around now, January, February, I get to ask this all the time, and it's hard to gauge it right now because it's traditionally slower in January and February. But so it's hard to say what's going to happen in April if it's going to take off. But from what I've seen and from the past few years, inventory is very low right now. And I don't see it jumping up. I think it's going to remain a seller's market. Absolutely. I don't know if it'll be an extreme seller's market like it was last spring, but right now, my gut and the eye test, what I'm seeing, it's kind of leaning towards that. Now, that's not to say April 1st or May 1st, we don't get all of a sudden an influx of listings, so which would help. But it looks like I'm definitely going to remain a seller's market. And like I said, I don't have this. I'm not going to go through statistics and stuff, but and we all hear those. Everyone hears the stats, and I do look at them. But just the eye test and the eye test in my gut, it looks like it's going to be a really tough spring for buyers. Probably multiple offers, bidding wars, etc.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff going on. We don't have time to talk about everything today, but something I wanted to throw out that we might talk about on another episode is what's going on with all the legal stuff with realtor commissions.
Oh no, you went there.
Yeah.
That's another 5 episodes, I think.
I know.
And a lot of the funny, I know me and David have talked about this a lot. Not a lot, but a few times. And most people don't know about it unless you're in the business, I think. I don't think many consumers really know about it, do you?
Yeah, not as much, and that may change as depending on how things go.
Right.
I know anyone listening is saying, "Wow, what the heck are you guys talking about? You guys aren't really explaining yourselves." But I'm not really going to get in a lot of detail. But the point is that there's some lawsuits and whatnot that are going on in regards to how realtors get paid their commission, and that may change down the road. We don't know. If it does, it could affect buyers and their out-of-pocket costs. I just want to say that. So just knowing that might make things a little bit more expensive for buyers is another reason why, if you're thinking about buying, you probably want to get with a loan professional sooner rather than later to get more details about that and to see, what it would take to buy sooner rather than later. Because, like you mentioned about inventory, homes probably aren't going to get any cheaper this year, right?
No, and definitely going to stay the same at least. But if the inventory gets extremely low, that's going to drive the prices up, right?
Exactly, and that's what I'm getting at. If whenever you buy a house, you got to have some skin in the game, something out of pocket, and if that goes up, and then if prices are going up, if you work the numbers based on what it is you're trying to do, if you're looking to buy a home, a lot of times you may find that it might benefit you to buy something sooner rather than later, because you might be gaining that equity a little bit earlier in the home that you purchase.
Yeah, and so I think that's going to be a great show. We can talk about that in the future, about the lawsuits.
Exactly.
Also, let's see how things go in the next month with the inventory, and then we can also do a show on tips and tricks on how to win bids from the realtor's perspective and from the lender's perspective. Me and David have done it many times together, teamed up and got our clients in a house with multiple offers. And honestly, it wasn't that crazy what we did, but we won, and it wasn't going 20,000 over asking. So
exactly,
there's tips and tricks and lots of different things we can do. So
exactly. Yep. Looking forward to that, man. There's a lot of things that people that aren't in the industry don't know and don't understand. But that's why it's just like anything else. That's why you try to work with some good professionals to help you out, right?
Absolutely.
Most people don't sue people on their own. They usually get an attorney. Most people don't usually try to pull out their own appendix, right? So, they get a doctor. So, if you're looking to buy a house, you need to find a good professional to talk to make sure you understand the game. You understand what you got to do to get ready. And same thing with a real estate professional, a realtor. You need to get with a professional to help you understand that part of the game. Set up strategies, understand the strategies, and
absolutely strategies. Yep.
Before you hit the field and play.
And please get pre-approved. Pre-approved before we do anything.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people just they're anxious to look at homes.
Yep.
They're anxious.
And it's
to look
fine
at
to
homes.
call me, but I'm just going to steer you towards my lenders to get pre-approved.
Exactly. That's the first thing you really need to do. Once again, is get pre-approved.
Yeah, it's not that I don't want to show you homes. It's just there's many reasons why. I mean, if you can't afford something, I don't want to show you something that's out of your price range and you actually absolutely fall in love with it, because now you're what I call tainted, and you're going to compare every house that's in your price range to that one I showed you earlier that you cannot afford at all. So it's going to ruin the whole experience. So it's not just that I don't trust you or think you can't buy a home. It's part of the strategy.
Yeah. I like that word, tainted. What's the
It's true. I've had it happen. I've totally had it happen. It's like, oh yeah, I'll go show you the home. I know them. I know they did a good job. I don't. The odds are in their favor that they're probably can get a mortgage. I show it to them, and they don't qualify for it. And now they're comparing everything in their price range, which we do get them straightened out with the lender. They're comparing everything to that house.
Yeah, and along with that, sometimes people unfortunately think that they qualify for more than what they do.
Yep.
And that's a big thing that, I deal with off and on. I've had people that I talk to that say, hey, I'm already pre-approved. I got pre-approved by so-and-so.
Who's your lender? I don't know. Someone online. That's
exactly.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, and then
is it FHA or conventional? I don't know,
but
that's what I know, that they're doing it all online.
And then in conversation, you find out that, so if you're pre-approved, then why are you talking to me? They didn't like the pre-approval. They weren't pre-approved for enough, and sometimes that might be the case,
right?
But sometimes it's just a matter of explaining everything to them so that they understand why they are approved for a certain amount. And sometimes what they need to do if they want to get pre-approved for more, there might be ways to do that. Getting rid of some debt or something, So, yeah, you really want to talk to someone initially to know what you can buy.
Absolutely. We joke, I know that, like I said, they always call realtors first.
Yeah.
And I don't know why no one wants to call a lender and talk to them. They're always hesitant. And then I'll say, oh, call David. And I'll check with David. Hey, did so-and-so call you? He's like, no, haven't heard from him. So it just happens. I don't know, people, you have your theory on that, but
yeah,
you're just apprehensive, right? About,
well, I mean,
finances. And
there's nothing wrong with, to be honest, I love buyers that are, that want to buy. They want to go out and look, and they're ready, because
sure,
it's competitive out there.
As do I.
Yeah, it's competitive out there.
Well, that's the other thing, is how competitive it is. You need to be ready to pull the trigger. So you need your pre-approval and your finances. Any questions you have on closing costs, down payments, anything, you need to have that in line to compete in this market.
Exactly. And I tell people that, you kind of probably need to, if you're going to look to buy a house, you got to kind of treat it as like a second job, part-time job. In other words, you have to be focused. You have
That's
to.
a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't thought of it like that. I always tell my clients, my buyers, I'm like, we're going to get to know each other really well, and you're going to learn a lot, because they usually do, And I've had them complimented, like, wow, I really did learn a lot about this process, So
yeah, and that's what you do with a new job, right? You got to learn a new job, and it's just a temporary thing until we can find the right house. But you got to concentrate. You got to get me the things that I need to make sure that you're totally pre-approved, and you got to be ready to look at the listings that is sent to you by a realtor, and you need to focus when you go out looking at homes, because some of that stuff can be a little overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, I think for our first episode, I think we've touched on a few things and
Not bad. This is fun.
yeah, threw out some ideas.
We're a little nervous, right? This is our first episode.
Yeah, it's our first one.
I think it's only going to get better.
Yeah, and
Just like the rates.
and I'm a little bit of a mortgage geek, so I apologize if I geek off a little bit and get into some of the numbers and the data, but I just think it's kind of important to help explain some of the things that are going on.
Absolutely. And we'll pick some certain subjects and get into stuff deeper in our future shows.
Yeah, and looking forward to it. So
How we doing on time, Mr. Hooper?
You guys are doing great. You are just a little over 20 minutes.
Okay.
So
thank you so much, those of you that have joined us on our first episode. And Mike, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
Phone or text 586-291-2652. On the web, www.mikemitchell.realtor.
And for me, Dave Underwood, best way to reach me is text or call 248-219-3457. Or you can Google David Underwood Mortgages, or you can check out my blog website, davidunderwoodhomeloans.com. Well, I think we should probably wrap it up for the day.
I think so.
And,
This is a good time.
Yeah, looking forward to the next one.
What's the name of the show?
The Real Estate Tailgate.
Oh, yeah.